All right, Skylar, let's check out some of your GS free skiing up on South Bowl. Watch it first in regular motion, then slow it down. All right, let's check this out. A little slower now. It's a pretty good skiing. Oops. All right. You know, one thing we talk about a lot is making sure we're really level, reaching out with the downhill or outside hand, more out over the downhill ski. Really trying to be balanced on that downhill ski. You kind of have a tendency to kind of lean in a bit here. You can see that shoulders aren't exactly level. So some weight goes to the inside. And I think right here you could see you kind of um, lost your downhill ski. It kind of skidded out on you right here. Hip almost came to the ground maybe, and whoops. So you lost it right there. So make sure you want to be balanced over the outside ski. Next thing we want to make sure we do is really kind of take care of that inside ski. And what I mean there is making sure when we initiate our turns to roll both feet, ankles and knees, roll both skis up on edge to nice high edge matching angles. We got to create a platform to push against with that the new outside leg. But here, obviously, you're kind of cheating the turn and diverging. Skis going different directions, inside one under us and really flat. So the goal is to really get, especially in GS, to get both feet out from underneath us. And the only way to get both out is if we roll the inside one up also to a nice high edge angle. Then we can move the hip in. As you can imagine there, looking at that, you really couldn't move to the inside with the hip when the inside ski is flattened under you. You get kind of locked right in there. You can see how flat the inside one is relative to the outside one, right? Otherwise, looks nice position. We do have some decent upper lower body separation, which is good. We are fairly level right now, which is good. But if we could just get that inside ski up on edge, it allows us to really move to the inside and produce some much bigger angles. As we talked about, I think the other day, what can you work on? Doing a lot of slopies, Heisman drills, really trying to push, push that hip in and get the angles, but at the same time, we've got to roll the inside foot up. We've got to think little toe down on the inside foot, big toe down on the other. As we just talked about before, though, really want to drive that hand, outside hand, a little bit more down and out over the downhill ski, because you have a tendency to kind of lean in. Your inside hand, tends to be lower than your outside, and when that happens, we're not really exactly level. The next thing is, this is kind of important, and we want motion, and you have motion. There is no doubt. But right now you actually have too much up and down motion. We're not looking to stand up this tall in the transition. We want to be fairly low in the transition. We want to transfer the weight to the new uphill ski, then move along that ski. We're moving along forward. So we're trying to move more forward and down the hill as opposed to up. And you kind of go, you have a tendency to go stand up quite tall in the transition. So if you go back to that, I'll send it to you, the transition video I made, you'll see them being a lot lower in the transition, and you, as I said, you move along the uphill, the new outside ski, and then forward. So we're trying to go, forward and inside the turn and not up. We definitely do need to get the hips up over the boots at the top of the turn, but it's a quicker motion, and it's move forward and then to the inside. But think forward. Otherwise, here's another example, maybe a better visual of inside arm lower than outside, because you can see you can imagine your inside shoulder's lower, so you're not level. So there is going to be weight on the inside ski. You can kind of see from here that inside ski is not rolled up as much. So the inside foot is still kind of underneath you. Otherwise, some good stuff here. I mean, we have decent ankle flexion. I like to see matching angles of the shins and the back right there. That's all good. Pole plant, you have motion. We just talked about that. We need to change that motion a bit. We just need to roll up that inside ski more on edge to match the outside. You can see how flat it is. So if you can do that, then we can move the hip to the inside of the turn and really get the feet out from underneath us, produce higher edge angles, more angles, and a more powerful arc. So you have to think about taking the inside foot, kind of, pulling it back, tipping it up, relaxing it, and shortening it. A long outside leg, short inside leg. And less really obviously standing up tall like that. But there's a lot of good things, Skylar. Make some darn good turns. And there's a couple ideas we just talked about that, we can make them even better. All right, let's work on those things, and they'll get better.